This woman has just committed arson, which can get you decades in prison. But she's just received a sweetheart deal from the Fulton County DA because she did it for a BLM. Crazy. Now, if I told you a group of people were caught on camera committing arson willfully, you would think they were going to go to jail and likely do some jail time. But Fani Willis's DA's office thinks differently. Okay, so let me give you some background. In the summer of 2020, 27-year-old Rayan Brooks was placed under arrest by police for drunk driving. He had fallen asleep while in a drive-through lane at a Wendys. Now, the employees of that Wendys called police, and this is what happened.
Crowded Wendys drive-thru in Southwest Atlanta. Witness recording when they saw a struggle between 27-year-old Rayan Brooks and two APD officers.
At some point, Mr. Brooks actually gets the upper hand. That's when he gets up and runs away.
GBI investigators also got a hold of one of the officers' tasers. Surveillance video then shows Brooks running away from the officers as they chased after him.
You have one that looks from the video that he has his own taser out, and it seems like he's trying to tase Mr. Brooks, but then Mr. Brooks turns. It looks like he attempts to fire the taser that he has, and then he is shot by police.
So remember, this was amongst the time where BLM was running rampant, the summer of love. So 2 days later, protesters gathered at the Wendys where the incident had occurred and started setting fires to the building. You can clearly see a white woman starting a fire deliberately at the Wendys in question. Check it out.
A raging fire lit up the night sky as someone set fire to the Wendys where Rayan Brooks was shot. Soon after, these videos started popping up on social media.
Look at a white girl trying to burn down the Wendys.
Appearing to show a Caucasian woman putting some kind of accelerant through the window. Many saying she wasn't even with the protest.
This wasn't us. This wasn't us.
It sparked outrage and finger-pointing as the videos went viral. This one now viewed more than 1.6 million times. As soon as we saw these videos pop up, we started to investigate and got to work to verify.
Now, because so many people were recording, police were able to identify the arsonist.
This just into the newsroom. A woman suspected of setting fire to the Wendys on University Avenue has now been arrested. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office confirming 29-year-old Natalie White was picked up this afternoon and booked into the Fulton County Jail. The Wendys was where Rayan Brooks was shot and killed on June 12th, and the day after, the Wendys burned down during the protest.
Now, along with that woman, two other people were also identified and indicted by the Fulton County DA for arson.
Now, according to the indictment from the Fulton County District's office, 35-year-old John Wesley Wade, 31-year-old Natalie Hannah White, and 24-year-old Chisholm Kingston are charged with the offense of arson in the first degree, 2 counts, and conspiracy to commit arson in the first degree. The Fulton County DA's office released a statement saying in part, quote, "We recognize and will protect the right to protest. We cannot, however, tolerate violence like arson, even if done in the name of protest."
Now, Natalie White was actually the girlfriend of Rayan Brooks. He's even on the body camera mentioning her by name.
Natalie White appearing in court by video chat from the Fulton County Jail.
All right, Ms. White, this is your first appearance. You have the right to remain silent.
Fulton County Judge Todd Ashley read the first-degree arson charge, saying on June 13th, White allegedly set a Southeast Atlanta Wendys on fire using a lighter and some sort of can. The same Wendys Rayan Brooks was shot and killed outside of during an encounter with Atlanta police the day before. And he mentions the name Natalie White in body camera footage.
Natalie White, she's my girlfriend.
White's attorney Drew Finling on Tuesday confirmed with 11 Alive White knew Brooks.
We're good friends. But I'm just not going to, at this point in time, talk about the specifics of their friendship.
Now, if convicted on all counts, these offenders were facing somewhere in the range of 40 years in prison. But the DA's office offered them a deal. Plead guilty to first-degree arson, 2 counts, and conspiracy to commit arson, and they'd receive a $500 fine and 150 hours of community service. 5 years probation would also go along with this deal. And the deal was so sweet, they would avoid any jail time. So, what do you think they did? Well, 2 of the defendants took the deal.
Two people who are accused of burning down a Wendys have accepted plea deals. The Wendys is where an Atlanta police officer shot and killed Rayan Brooks back in 2020 at the height of the George Floyd protests. Court records show the two suspects were sentenced to 5 years probation. They also have to pay a $500 fine and complete 150 hours of community service. Now, there was a third suspect here, John Wade, was also indicted for allegedly setting the fire.
Now, the third suspect, his name is John Wade. He didn't take the deal. He's a prominent Black Lives Matter activist in Atlanta. He wants the people to decide his fate.
Bond set at $10,000 today for a man charged with arson in the fire that burned down a Southeast Atlanta Wendys. John Wade waived his first court appearance. Wade is one of 3 people charged in the fire that destroyed the fast food restaurant on University Avenue. The fire was set a day after a white police officer shot and killed a black DUI suspect in the parking lot, sparking protest. As part of the conditions to be released, the judge ordered Wade to wear an ankle monitor, have no contact with the other defendants, and stay away from what's left of the Wendys.
Now, let's keep it real. This sweetheart deal should be an outrage. No jail time for intentional arson. You have January 6th defendants in jail for just being in the building. Hell, Jussie Smollett got 5 months for staging a hate crime against himself. But if you burn down a building intentionally, you get a $500 fine and community service? That's a joke. And a 2-tier justice system. I'm calling it the BLM privilege. Now, I think it's also important to note the officers were justified in the Rayan Brooks case. They were totally exonerated. They were even put back on the force.
And we begin with breaking news. The former Atlanta police officer charged with murdering Rayan Brooks is once again an employee of the Atlanta Police Department. The city's Civil Service Board just granted Garrett Rolfe's appeal, reversing his dismissal because, quote, he was not afforded his right to due process.
You heard that right. That officer got his job back and was given back pay and everything owed to him. All right, so this case is bothering me because let's just be clear. These people were caught on camera intentionally burning down someone's business. That's what they were doing. And the law provides that if you do something like that, you should spend years in prison. But the reason why these people aren't spending that time in prison is because they're associated with BLM and Rayan Brooks. And you can put any other spin to it, right? Let's say if they were an angry employee of Wendys. Let's say they were a KKK member. Let's say if they're anybody else, any other group, right? Pro-Palestinians who burnt down at Wendys. These people would be doing years in prison. So what gives BLM the right to do something like this and get such a sweetheart deal? It makes you think that justice is supposed to be blind, but this is a blind justice. This is political justice. Again, tell me where I'm wrong in the comments section. Tell me how, Nate, you're crazy, right? These people should have gotten these sweetheart deals. Arson is fun. I disagree, and I think this is a bastardization of the criminal justice system. But let me know how you feel in the comment section. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you next time. Peace.